break, and we get back, we're going to talk about something Ethan, I know, has been chomping at the bit to talk about. No, we're not talking about Riley Curry, but we are talking Golden State Warriors and the MVP run of Steph Curry. This is Full Court Press Radio. Right back in about a minute and a half.
NBA Lead will be your ultimate destination for up-to-the-moment expert commentary on all trending NBA topics and headlines. The digital broadcast network will offer hours of live content, plus more than hundreds of on-demand videos each week. It provides news, highlights, live look-ins, our own analysis, music, and conversations from around the NBA world. Moving at the speed of Twitter, it pushes from headline to headline, topic to topic. When all said and done, NBA Lead will bring the fans what they want, when they want. NBA Lead.
We're all born with the blues, whether we want to admit it or not. Though you'll truly experience the blues from a different yet very unique perspective when you visit Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues. At Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues, you'll experience some amazing sounds from aspiring, talented musicians in the blues genre. Be sure to download Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues Android app from Google Play Store and get wired to the Rattled Beach Show on Friday nights. Blues on! YippieKiABlues.com.
Are you looking for some sick sports apparel? DHTK designed some of the newest and coolest brands such as Represent, Game Over, and Don't Hate the King. DHTK's vision is to integrate culture, fashion, and attitude that best represents the players and caters to us, the fans. Click on DHTK.com and subscribe to their mailing list for an automatic 10% off your order. If you are a basketball fan, follow DHTK on social media. Visit DHTK.com for more details. DHTK.com. You don't have to be a king to dress like one.
We are back for Full Court Press Radio here on the Happy Hour Network and the Full Court Press Radio app, 347-857-1947. This is Danny Thompson hanging out with you tonight with my main man, Ethan Stern of NBAFCPRadio.com. And we're now talking about the Golden State Warriors. So we're going to take 10 to 15 minutes to talk about the Golden State Warriors here. Ethan, what more can you say about the Golden State Warriors besides the fact of, was the last two games two of the more entertaining games that you'll see in the playoffs this year, in your opinion?
You have a team that's as fun as Golden State is with the kind of talent they have with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and all their other supplemental players like Sean Livingston, Harrison Barnes. And you put them up against a team like Portland, which has a bunch of athletic guys who just want to shoot the ball. You know, Alan Crabb, Al-Farouq Aminu, Gerald Henderson all shot 50% from three, and Damian Lillard just does Damian Lillard things. You know, he always plays well against the Warriors, being an Oakland native. This was a really fun series to watch. All the games were close for the most part. A lot of comebacks, a lot of it was pretty. I wouldn't say it was a great referee series, but it was pretty chippy at points.
Yeah, I mean, to me it was a great series. I mean, if you go back to Game 4 when Curry pretty much won Game 4 in overtime with the performance that he put on, which made Paul Allen a meme for the rest of his life, you know, and that overtime performance after supposedly only playing, it was 25 minutes. Was it 25 minutes that Curry had capped him at it before the game, Ethan? Was that correct?
They wanted to play him only 25, but they said there was no official limit.
But I'm pretty sure if Sean Livingston doesn't get ejected in the second quarter, I'm pretty sure that he only plays around 25 minutes.
Yeah, probably. But
that overtime, where Curry just went insane in overtime, it was hitting shot after shot after it. If it wasn't the most MVP performance you're going to find all season, and I know what Kevin Durant did a night or two earlier against, you know, Kawhi Leonard was just as amazing. But if you think about it, Steph Curry's coming off, you know, his first game back. You know, that injury is not an easy injury to come back from. And to do what he did, and the way Curry's game is about quickness. It's about taking people off the dribble and having that shot. And for him just to be shooting like that and being not afraid to go to the basket, that just opened things up. And then last night in Game 5, Curry gets the MVP award at home. And to me, Curry might have had the best numbers, but I think to me, Klay Thompson stole the show last night. Do you agree?
Clay was really good. I think the MVP of this series for the Warriors, as good as Klay Thompson was, it was Draymond Green. Let me pull up the season averages. They're unreal. What is it? 22.2 points, 11.2 rebounds, 7.4 assists, 1.8 steals, and 3.2 blocks. I mean, there was that sequence in Game 4 at the end of the third quarter, right when the Warriors took their first lead in that big comeback they're mounting, where he had back-to-back blocks on dunks by Lillard and Plumlee, and that's when they first took their lead. And he set up so many things. Even in that Game 3, where he scored 37 points, he even said, like, I played terrible in this game, which is pretty funny. After a guy scores 37, he says, I played terrible. I mean, Klay Thompson averaged 31 points on 50, 95, 94 shooting. That's unreal. I mean, those two guys really carried the team, and no one has been talking about Klay. Not enough people have been talking about Draymond. It's all been Steph, and that's great. He scored 40 points and had a really good game in Game 5, but those two guys really flexed their muscle the first 3 games of the series, and it was really impressive to watch.
Was more impressed by Klay Thompson's numbers last night, Ethan. 13 of 17 from the floor last night. So it wasn't like he was he was just chucking shots everywhere. He hit, 13 of 17. He only missed 4 shots, and really 6 of 9 from the 3-point line. So it was just basically him knocking down shots left and right. And then even though Draymond Green went 2 of 7 from the floor, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. And like you said, the block numbers, the steal numbers. When you looked at the MVP balloting, I'm surprised Draymond Green didn't get a couple votes for MVP.
Well, I forget who said it, but I think it was Zach Lowe. He said, if you didn't vote Steph for MVP, just come out and say it now, because there's going to be a witch hunt if you didn't.
Well, there should be a witch hunt, but the witch hunt should be for which player didn't vote for Kawhi Leonard as part of the MVP balloting. That's who the witch hunt should be for the 9 members of the media, which I still have not found yet, and I'm still looking for them, who did not vote vote Draymond Green, but Kawhi Leonard on 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th in the MVP voting. I want to know who did it, because whoever it is should have their voting rights taken away. But, you know what, let's talk a little bit more about the series real quick. And now the Warriors have a couple days off before you start the Western Conference Finals. And really, where do the Portland Trail Blazers go next from here, in your opinion, Ethan? For me, you look at the roster, they overachieved. I mean, let's be honest. This team, I had at the beginning of the season as one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. You look at their roster you look at their roster on paper, Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, you have guys like Mo Harkless, Ed Davis, Al-Farouq Aminu, Plumlee, Allen Crabbe. You don't think this team is going to win, 44 games and then give Golden State everything they have in the playoffs. Do you think, in your opinion, is this lightning in the bottle? Or do you think this is something consistent going forward?
Lillard is really good, and he's just coming into his peak. He's 25 years old. He's going to start the extension on his rookie contract next year, so he's going to start making his money. The thing that the Blazers really need, and it was so evident in this series, they don't have any rim protection. Mason Plumlee is a 7-foot guy, but he made 12 shots in the entire series, 11 of which were dunks, and he had 12 shots blocked. He's 7 feet. That shouldn't be happening. But this Ed Davis can't really protect the rim either. They need a center. I think this is one of the interesting landing points for Dwight Howard, just because the Portland fans will be so nice to him. They've got their culture there. And everybody's so friendly with Lillard. So I think that would be interesting. But the thing is they have a lot of guys who are at the end of their rookie deal. Gerald Henderson's going to be an unrestricted free agent, but Allen Crabbe and Mo Harkless are the exact kind of players that a lot of teams are looking for, and they're done with their rookie contract. So they're probably going to demand, at least $10 million each, maybe 15 for Crabbe. But they're these 3-and-D guys that everybody's looking for. McCollum's going to be eligible for extension next year. So their general manager, Neil Olshey, is going to be under a lot of pressure to try and balance all these things while they get Lillard in their peak.
That's a good question. I mean, a lot of people think Dwight Howard is going to be the landing spot, in Portland. For me, I'm not sure if it's going to be Portland. I don't know if Dame really wants a guy like that, with that type of background or that type of, of history to go with a team that's this young. And I don't know, with a lot of the young guys on this team, do you want a guy like Dwight Howard to be around a lot of those young guys? But I'll tell you one name who'd be nice in Portland. It'd be Festus Ezeli. I think Ezeli would be a nice in the rotation with Davis and Plumlee. I don't think they need a big-time Superman at the center position, but I think they need more help at the swing position. I think they still need a dominant second scorer, as much like C.J. McCollum. McCallum's a good third scorer, but I think Dame needs one more, high-level scorer that can help, especially on the wings or on the block. Maybe it could be a power forward. Another name I like this summer that might not cost as much, I'm going to tell you this, and tell me what you think about this, maybe Jared Sullinger. That's out in Boston. I think Sully would be a nice little low-post, low-block player that has a mid-range game, a face-up game, and can score in the low post. You know, with Plumlee not being the best defensive and most interior guy in the league, at least you get the low-post scoring from Sullinger. And then, like you said, you can find shot blocking anywhere. I mean, this would be also a nice little place for Hassan Whiteside as well, too. Like you said, looking for people there would be nice. Whiteside with the temper, and Portland would be a nice little fit. But here's the last question on the Warriors before we go into the Yippee-Ki-Yay Blues Stars of the week, Ethan. Now you're looking at Golden State with a couple of days off into the Western Conference Finals. Do you see what is the major hole going forward with the Warriors that you see right now that could be exposed by either San Antonio or Oklahoma City in the Western Conference Finals?
Well, Oklahoma City has the Warriors' kryptonite. Kevin Durant has always killed the Warriors, and the Warriors have no answer for him. The Warriors have a bunch of answers for Russell Westbrook, and they're rebounding enough they can rebound well enough to counter this Steven Adams, Enes Kanter lineup that the Spurs or the Thunder are running, and they got a bunch of shooting. They can do something about that too. It should really force them to not play both those guys to bring Ibaka back onto the floor. The Spurs just have so much defense, and it's tricky for them to really get anything going. They really take away the three-point line, force the Warriors to drive. But Steph shoots 70% at the line. I guess the Thunder maybe are a slightly worse matchup, but I also think they're a lot more beatable than San Antonio. So, and there's a couple little things with the Warriors that have been going on. I don't know what's going on with Festus Ezeli. It's been kind of weird seeing him on the bench for so much. I don't really know what's going on. Steve Kerr's not really answering questions about it. So I guess it's some rotational issues, but the Warriors have a bunch of personnel that can kind of work around them. So I don't really know.
Hey, you know what? Actually, this kind of blends from another question. We talked about Curry and Thompson and Green. If you look at it, where do you think Harrison Barnes fits in this series, especially now with Oklahoma City? If it's Oklahoma City, that you got to figure out a way to deal with Kevin Durant. And I'm not sure if they're going to keep Green on Durant this whole series. How big of a role Harrison Barnes has to play in the series, and do you think he steps up to the occasion here?
Every time the Warriors have a big game, it's, this is the Harrison Barnes game. This is the game he needs to show. He never does, and they still win. I don't know what to make of it. It's when I say he doesn't show up, I mean he's not shooting well from three. You know, he's not playing super dynamic offense. He makes some good defensive plays. He's a good defensive team player. He can't guard Durant for 48 minutes, but he can guard him for maybe half the game. He did pretty well against him during the season. So Harrison Barnes, every time we say he needs to step up, he doesn't have a big game on the box score. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison Barnes, for a guy that's going to be a potentially max player this summer, a guy that's going to be looking for max money this summer, he's got to make some effort. He's got to make some plays. He's got to do something because, for me, if I'm looking at a guy going forward, I'm looking at, a guy that's going to be doing this and doing that, you've got to be able, and I mean, honestly, you have to be able to put points on the board. But I think, honestly, when it comes down to it, Harrison Barnes is in a situation, and Ethan, tell me if you agree with me or not, that he is looking like James Harden. It could be a James Harden situation all over again. And what I mean by that is that James Harden is one of these guys, and we saw this, that he was a guy that was playing really well when you had two superstars, and he has to play his own role. I think Barnes is on that same level with Harden, that if I think he gets his own team, I think he turns into a megastar. I think Barnes is a guy that can possibly give you 19, 20 points a game, 8 or 9 rebounds, a couple assists, and turn into that guy. Do you agree or no? Am I overshooting this a little bit?
I mean, I'd love for Barnes to be that player. I like the guy. He seems like a nice guy. He's a good fit on the team. He does a lot of really good things well. He can shoot the three. He can play defense.